Good Monday morning. Woo. Probably the last morning, early afternoon stream for a week or two. I'll definitely be back on tonight too, though. That's for sure. I'm excited. I got my mic cover today. I ordered that a few days ago, so I got a little foamy thing over it now. So hopefully it sounds a little better. You don't hear the as much. Hey, Christy B. How are you this morning? It was nice seeing you in ATS. You too, Pam. I do like Grizzly. I don't know. I'll probably have to check it out after she's not live anymore, though. Just to make sure I respect the creator. Let me see here. Thank you, Christy B. Some of us, it's still morning. Bruin, nice to see you in ATS. You too, Kib Kitty. Thank you. Raking yard, so in and out. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about that, storm we got coming tonight. Kind of nervous about that, but nothing I can do about it. So, I got some videos to go over, got a bunch of emails. Oh, speaking of, I want to thank Justice Served Daily. She sent me a couple pictures. He changed title and registration to WA plates on 11/18/22 from PA title. So on November 18th is when he switched it. So I'm going to show that picture first here. This is a Carfax. Thank you, Justice. And let me show that here. Carfax. Tire repair. Wow. Let's see here. Oil and filter, 815. Title issued or updated. Registration updated when owner moved the vehicle to a new location. Huh. I wonder if that was strategic too. What's up, Justice? Yes. Holy crap. I'm looking at this. Damn, I'm wondering. So, yeah, Bruin. So I'm wondering if that was strategic too. What's up, Liam's mommy? Good morning. Oh, I hear you. I was like, oh, I think I had like 4 hours of sleep or something. And then I was like, you know what? I'm up. I'm going to go ahead and go live now. Maybe I'll just take a nap in the middle of the day. But I am going to be doing my CJ Evil Sims 4 episode 4 on Twitch this afternoon. And then I will have that new Sims 4 episode posted on the channel either this afternoon or this evening. So definitely check out CJ Evil. His cooking skills are on point now. Bruin and Justice. Let's see. Luck at second photo. All right, give me 1 second. Let me take the social off the screen there for a second. Wow. Carfax coming in with the Carfax. All right. Here's this one. (2015) (1630) Northeast Valley Road apartment, Pullman, Washington. I'm not killing the omelet. I was like, damn, my non-stick pan after cooking one time with the way he was cooking brewing, the non-stick pan is not a non-stick pan after that first time the way he was scraping the hell out of that pan, you know? I'm like, damn, bro. It's just eggs. But he's good though. Episode 3, he got a lot better in cooking. Episode 3, he got a lot better in strumming the strings. And he's not liking his job. He's not liking being a painter. So, I don't know. We might have to change careers. But yeah, I'll be doing episode 4 on Twitch sometime this afternoon, uploaded to YouTube later tonight. Chemistry Queen, good morning. Oh, it's all good. I saw in the ATS's chat. Nice to see you in ATS's show. I saw you were cooking for him and stuff. I bet that's got to be so much fun, Chemistry Queen, having the little one around. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And Happy New Year, Justice. Well, here's something I'm going to be diving into this afternoon, and we might even be diving into it more this evening. I'm wondering, Justice, me and Bruin, thank you for the link for the Reddit. If anybody wants to watch us go through the Reddit post, you can go to last night's episode and skip ahead to around the 2 hour and 10 minute mark, and we go into it. But what do you think about this, Justice? We were in our show last night. We were, doing the brain stew. And with how strict of a vegan he was, and one of the earlier interview videos that we watched in the show had this lady that was talking, and she was like, I would just ask him what makes because she was like, what questions would you ask, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, you should, asking about the crime and stuff you want to know. And this lady's like, I wouldn't ask him about that. I would just ask him what makes him tick. I would just ask him, what makes him, basically to talk about himself. And I'm like, okay. And she was like, maybe he was so strict because he didn't want to become a cannibal. And then I'm sitting there and I'm going, wait a minute. If he was so strict where he didn't even want to eat nothing out of a plate, out of a bowl, couldn't even come close to meat, I'm wondering, with all this research that he did, Justice, I'm wondering if there was some SKs in particular that he was researching that were vegans and then ended up committing acts of cannibalism. And so it got me wondering, I wonder what SKs out there were vegans but then ended up becoming cannibals after their crimes. Maybe he studied one of these so much and he was so fearful of becoming that part of who he studied that he became so strict with his diets and such. I was laughing so hard that I know. I was like, get to work, man. What are you doing? It says I have to leave work at 9 a.m. on that game. And I don't understand, because sometimes I ain't walking out that door till 9:30 and I ain't got in trouble yet from work. Oh, it's all good, Christy B. Like, usually when I'm doing the mod for her show, I usually have to go back and watch it on replay because I'm just so focused on trying to make sure I say hi to everybody. But it's all good. It's all good. I saw you. Yeah, welcome everybody coming in. Thank you. Well, we know he talked to BK daughter and now she is so upset. Yeah, and oh, so wait a minute. He actually talked to her? I didn't know that. I know that the professor has a connection or whatever, and I was wondering if the professor with her connections got him sit downs with BTK in prison, and they could have had a wink wink conversation. I think there were early signs of his behavior. Definitely. That's why I'm wondering what his Christmas pictures look like and if he had the nonchalant face while he was opening a Christmas gift in front of his family when he was a kid. I'm not a genius, but that doesn't work for me with the wet work he did. Plenty were cannibals, though. Yeah. It's crazy. Often vegan activists are not vegan. They only enjoy being and tell others what to do. You know, that's funny, Christy B, because I was watching this show on Hulu last night called Cooking with Cannabis. And they had this vegan on there, right? It's funny you say that. They had this vegan on there, and the vegan said, that they don't eat meat, but on Thanksgiving, they might have a little. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay. That's kind of odd. And then the one dude at the other end of the table, they were like judges, right? And the dude at the other end of the table, one of the judges was like, here, just try a little bit, and handed her like a piece of chicken or something. And bit the chicken, and I was like, whoa, okay. So do you just say that you're a vegan then? So that's interesting that you say that, because often vegan, they're not vegan, they only enjoy. Yeah, I kind of got that impression last night when I saw that. I was like, wow, interesting. Yeah, this is driver's license number. Holy crap. And then the Carfax. Do you think maybe BTK saw the monster? You know what, Bruin? If they had a sit down, right? If they had a sit down, don't you think that would be mouthwatering for both of them? If not only dude was able to wink wink with BTK, but BTK was also able to wink wink with somebody else that has aspirations of his own. I'm wondering if they had a sit down. With all this research that he did, the connection, especially with the professor, I'm wondering if she got him a sit down. And I don't know, I would think that those would have to be recorded, right? It's only the lawyer stuff that is confidential, right? They would have to have had that recorded. What happened with podcasts? With this one, Kib Kitty? I do think they both got off. I know, that's what I'm thinking, Bruin. Like, I'm sending the wink wink, They're both of their mouths had to be watering for that kind of shit. Let's see, Newsweek, BT, Sicken, Brian studied. Yeah, I know. We saw some interview that she was visibly upset in the interview. I thought it was because he actually studied her father, and she was upset that she has to keep being related to her dad, and the fact that this is the stuff that comes with it. And I thought she said she was upset that with his studies and him studying her dad, that could have contributed to him committing the crime. I don't know if I never heard of her actually talking to Brian Koberger. I'm thinking because the professor was the one that wrote the book on BTK, had to get permission to do so from the courts and all that such. And I'm wondering if his professor got him a visit. You know, if you're teaching a class, I could see how she would think that that's helping. Oh wow, I can get him a visit and this and that. Man, I'm just wondering, are those conversations, those conversations got to be recorded, right? If there was a sit down between them two, that can't be confidential because it's not legal representation, right? I'm not sure about that, but I don't think it would be. Let me see here. Let me go to my other emails. Let me switch back to this real quick. Go to my other emails. Thank you for those, Justice Shit. And the car Fox. I'm going to wait to Willow. If you're in, let me know. If not, I'm going to wait to show this one. Willow sent me, because if you were in last night's show, there was some chat about JLR eating a pizza in one of the videos, and I didn't end up playing the one he was eating a pizza. So Willow went ahead and sent me the one. Willow found it. But I'll wait until Willow's back in. Oh, hell no. Let's see. Kelt, whenever you do hop in, yeah, bug me with pictures. You're more than welcome to. Moab murder case closed. Phantom 67. Oh, wow. I forgot about those two. That's right. Here, let me click on this. This is from Phantom. Are you in here, Phantom? If not, I want to wait. I'll wait until Phantom's in chat. I'll wait for those to pop up. If he was so rude to this professor in class by taking over her all the time, would you reward him with access to a notable serial K? But here's the thing, Bruin. Maybe look at it like this, right? Okay, Phantom, cool. I'll show the links here. Look at it like this, Bruin. What if she thought that could be a way? Maybe maybe with his passion, she took it as passion, right? Maybe she took it as passion, and maybe she could have been like, you know what if I do get him this sit down? Will he then be a more restraintful student? If I get him this sit down, will he like me more? Well, if I get him this sit down, will he be more of a contribution to the class? Maybe she was thinking she could have used that to get him to become part of the class and not be necessarily the class or the teacher. I don't know. I could definitely see her maybe trying to use it as a carrot. You know what I'm saying? If he was creating that many problems in class and she took it as passion, obviously she knew he was smart. So maybe she just, you know what? He's very passionate about this. Maybe if I get him to sit down, then maybe we can coexist. All right. Yeah, let me, Phantom. Everybody. All right, yeah, let me go to these links here. Moab murder case closed. Is my music too damn loud or what? Let me check. It sounds like it. Now we're good. Oh, 1 second. Before I get into this link, I'll go ahead and throw that out there if anybody would like to. All right, double Moab murder case closed here. Let's go to this. Turn on the sound.
Murder case finally closed. Police releasing new information stating they know who murdered two women in Moab. Ep.64 Allie Brilliant talking to investigators about the new information. And Allie, what are they saying?
Emily, police say this murder is solved. Police now saying after over a year of searching for Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner's killer, they have enough evidence to name their murderer, Adam Pinkowitz. But before he could be arrested, he committed suicide. The bodies of newlyweds Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte found shot dead near a campsite in Moab on August 18th, 2021. The case is now closed, but the killer police are identifying is dead.
Obviously, he was alive. This would be a situation where we have enough to place him under arrest, and we feel like we would be able to take him to trial and get a guilty conviction.
Investigators say the murderer is Adam Pinkowitz, a former co-worker of Turner's, was known to be aggressive to some and homophobic towards the newlyweds' relationship. Kylan's father was told Pinkowitz was the likely killer back in May.
It's the guy that worked with the girls at McDonald's.
Really?
The one who never came back for his last paycheck.
Pinkowitz allegedly fled to Iowa, where he met his significant other. The significant other later telling police Pinkowitz admitted to him he murdered 2 women in Utah before committing suicide.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Thought he said that he was homophobic, but then it just said him. What?
Murderer is Adam Pinkowitz, a former co-worker of Turner's, was known to be aggressive to some and homophobic towards the newlyweds' relationship.
Homophobic towards the newlyweds' relationship, but then he meets his lover in Iowa and it's a him.
Kylan's father was told Pinkowitz was the likely killer back in May.
It's the guy that worked with the girls at McDonald's. The one who never came back for his last paycheck.
Pinkowitz allegedly fled to Iowa after the murder, where he met his significant other. The significant other later telling police Pinkowitz admitted to him he murdered 2 women in Utah before committing suicide. They say the significant other told them Pinkowitz murdered the couple in their tent, a detail police never released, verifying his statements.
The only way they would have gotten that information would have been from Adam.
Investigators say Pinkowitz was at the couple's campsite, setting up his things uncomfortably close to them while they were camping. The couple called him creepy camper to their friends, not recognizing who it was. Police say he deleted all photos of himself in Moab during that time off of his phone, finding search results for the same type of bullets used in the couple's murder and memos in his phone saying he constantly had the urge to kill and rape people, despite him already being dead. Kylan's father says his daughter still found justice.
I do not have to face him. He's already been sentenced. He's already in hell, and our work's done. Yes.
Whoa.
You can see just how happy he is to finally have those answers.
That was a crazy fucking laugh.
It's done. Yes.
Whoa, that was a crazy fucking laugh. Thank you, Phantom. Holy crap. Sounds like bullshit in my opinion, you know? Right. I mean, yeah, that's weird. Oh, hey, we brought up this movie last night, and maybe this might... Whoa. Freaking ad. This is, I think he just hated it. Probably. That's what it sounds like. I mean, it's just like, how can you be homophobic about one, but not... I don't know. That doesn't... Ooh, I need to not play that there. Yeah, this is the movie that popped into my head a couple days ago. I brought it up last night, and... It's just, I don't know. This movie popped into my head. So if I know some people couldn't remember what it was, this was the movie here. That's the movie poster. So I wanted to remind everybody, that's the movie I was talking about last night. It just, I don't know. I got this weird, not that that's how the crimes took place. It's just the person itself, you know, Look at the nonchalant, the face, the cheeks, the hair. I don't know. It just popped into my head. It's from like 2000, I think. All right, let me go to this next link from Phantom. Let's see what this one's about. How he knew them. All right, let me see here. Give me 1 second. It's loading here. It's very gory. I'm gonna be upfront with you. It's a very gory movie. But it's just, I don't know, the strict diet, the working out, the boxing, the egotistical aspect, just very small ties. He does a lot of other shit in the movie that probably goes way beyond what dude would have been about, but I don't know, just the character itself is what I'm, not the movie and what takes place. It's more about the character itself, and that's what popped into my head. I was like, American Psycho from 2000. It's it's not one of your top shelf flicks that you're gonna watch 50 million times. Yeah, it's pretty graphic. It really is. There's some comedy in it, but it's more about the character itself, really. Let me see here. Let's go to the next link. Thank you, Phantom. Okay, this is Drunk Turkey Show. I don't think I've ever watched. I went ahead and subscribed. I don't know if I ever watched his videos on here before. Is he cool with other content creators, Phantom? Because I think I'm on 2 out of 3 strikes, if you know what I mean. They don't like me doing sports, and they don't like me talking about UFOs. Let me say that. Let me know, Phantom, if this dude's cool with other content creators using the content. Let me go back to that one until I hear from you about that. Let me check out Idaho 4 Google searches before the murders. This is another one from Phantom. Let me see what this one is. Give me 1 second. That dude looks pretty cool. Crime Time with JB Gunner. Yeah, let me know about those content creators if you know, Phantom, just so I can play it safe here. Give me 1 second. I never heard of him being mad at people. Okay. When they cast Bale as Batman, I was out. All I could see is what the creep. Man, I didn't like him. Like, Batman is my favorite, right? And I didn't really care for him as Batman. Seriously. I really didn't. I thought that he, with the voice and such, I thought that he just overdid the character, in my opinion. I didn't really like him as Batman either, Bruin, honestly. But this new guy, what's his name? I can't remember. The dude from Twilight, whatever that dude's name is. I like him. I like the darkness that he portrayed in the character. I like that a lot. I liked his performance, honestly. Michael Keaton is my favorite. I know a lot of people don't like this Batman but the Batman with Val Kilmer, I loved the Batman with Val Kilmer. A lot of people don't. I don't know. I did. Okay, this is he thinks we're cool with this one. So let's see what this. I've never watched this drug. Here, let me put the channel link in the chat real quick. My bad. And then that song from U2, Hold Me, Kill Me, or wait, what is it called? Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. That song from U2 that came out with the Batman movie that had Val Kilmer. I love that song too. This is a Drunk Turkey Show. And then we'll see.
Hey, everybody.
Connection.
Happy New Year. I hope you're having a safe and fun holiday this weekend.
Dub Bears.
Yeah, this weekend. You know, it's a special day for myself. It's my birthday. So
hey, it was
thank
mine
you all
too.
for those that wished me happy birthday. I appreciate that. We've gotten quite a few messages through Facebook and email. So I appreciate that.
Happy birthday, man.
But whether, if we get some content or relative news or
there's a link to the video
that seems of importance, we're going to bring it out to you regardless if it's my birthday or if it's the holiday, so to speak. And so today what we're going to be talking about,
I streamed twice on mine.
Actually was pointed out to us by two of our Facebook fans, watchers of the content and supporters of the show. They sent us out some information. It came from Gina and Cindy. I'll keep their last names private. But before we get into it, you guys just hit that like and subscribe button. That'll help get this content out and the algorithm going. We're about to hit 10,000 subscribers. You guys could help us do so by hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell. We would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's get into the content. There's been a lot of question as to how did Brian Koberger know Xana, Maddie, Ethan, and Kaylee. There's this guy doesn't appear to be in their circle. He is socially awkward, apparently, by those that knew him, that attended his high school and college. He's older. He's 28. The victims were all under the age of 22. He lives, relatively close, but still a city away, 10 miles away.
Yeah, JSD. Tell us how you really feel. I mean, what? How many messages you had to? Let me see. We got Mr. Mom as Michael Keaton sucked butt. Yes, it did. I was talking about Batman. She hated him as Batman. I liked him. I liked him and the Jack Nickel. Oh my God, I always get these names. Nichols. The golfer and the fucking actor, Jack Nicholson. I thought their combination was awesome. And I liked Michael Keaton. I liked him in Beetlejuice. I liked him in Money Pit. I guess not. Because I like Michael Keaton. I like his sarcastic, dry humor shit. Especially Beetlejuice. I love Beetlejuice. Come on. You don't like Beetlejuice, Justice?
Where's the connection? How does he know them? I don't believe they had any, majors and what they were studying was similar or any of those things. And so
Yeah, that Prince song was the fucking shit too. What was it called? Bat Dance or something?
The connection. Now, here recently an article that came out referencing Brian's eating habits and how he was OCD about his eating and how he was not just vegan, but more than vegan. And,
more than vegan.
In fact, had his uncle and his
oh my gosh,
Justice, buy new pans because he wouldn't eat anything that was made or that had been previously had meat cooked on it. And so he was super. They described him as super OCD about it. So one of our two, Gina and Cindy, Two of our Facebook, followers and supporters of the show that follow us also on Facebook. You can reach us at the Drunk Turkey Show. You send in a message, it'll be myself, Blue, or Jaime that responds. Majority of the time, it's myself. Email as well, but they contacted us and they go, why don't if you search up a vegan restaurant in Moscow, the first place that populates or pops up is the Mad Greek. Now, Maddie and Xana both work at the Mad Greek.
Really?
Now, there's been a lot.
So Maddie and Xana both worked at the Mad Greek, and all of those Reddit posts that we were reading through last night kept saying that X and M were the targets. Huh. Right, Christy B? It does not mean that. No. What he's saying, Christy B, is that he was OCD about the veganism to the extent that he didn't even want his food touching other objects that meat was either cooked or put on. So he's saying that his OCD was so bad about the veganism that he wouldn't even eat his meals off a plate or a bowl, even if it was washed in the sink, because it either had meat cooked on it before or it had meat on the actual dish at some point in the future. What's up, SRB? You were not late. You were damn early because I thought you weren't going to be joining until tonight. So thank you. I appreciate you hopping in. Yeah. Yeah, he's saying the Mad Greek also served vegan food. He's saying if you search up vegan in Moscow, the first restaurant that comes up is the Mad Greek. They ask you stores. You know what I'm saying, Bruin? Like that's normal for vegans. So like if I have a vegan sister and she comes over to eat a happy birthday dinner and I have to get her paper plates because she won't eat off of any of my dishes because it might have had meat on it before, I don't know. I would think that would be extreme, but I'm not a vegan, so I don't really know. I would just kind of be like, dang, that's weird. Like, I washed the plate. You don't think I washed it good enough? That's what I would be like. Like, really, sis? I washed this plate. Hot water. Right? Yeah. Thank you for hopping in. I appreciate you so much, SRB. Seriously. Yeah. I don't know. But that's what that's what this guy's referring to, is that the OCD was so bad that he would have to have separate plates even. So how would he go to a restaurant then? Because those plates get washed too.
A lot of question as to
the best Batman. Get out of here, Justice. Get out of here. He sucked as Batman. He oh my gosh. Okay. If you want to talk nonchalant acting, yeah, that's nonchalant acting. That dude had no emotion. That dude had, and he always talked like this. It's like, come on, bro. You're overdoing it. You're overdoing it. You don't need to be that deep. Geez, I think you know what? This is what Justice Served Daily is today. She's that person that wears a Michigan Wolverines jersey to an Ohio State Buckeyes party. That's who she is today with this Batman shit. That's what you are, Justice. You're the Michigan Wolverine at an Ohio State Buckeye party. You're the one wearing a Michigan Wolverine sweater at a Christmas in Ohio, aren't you? If he's that picky, then he should be well aware you cannot get the bud cleaned out of the closet. I still love that, Richard. I love Michael Keaton. I like, a lot of people don't like the Val Kilmer Batman, but I like him too. I like Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's one of my favorite actors too, especially in the movie The Saint. Has anybody seen the Val Kilmer movie The Saint? That's she. No, I'm just saying. Like, how else can I explain it, Justice? That's the best way I could explain it. It would be like, I know I can't do it. We brought up Bale because of this American Psycho movie poster, because that's what I was talking about last night, and some people didn't know the movie. That's the movie. Oh no. Bruin says if he's that picky, then he should be well aware you cannot get the. Yeah, I know. I don't know. We'll see. They said that they. I guess not. I know, Phantom. I wanted to say something. but I was like, damn, I better not, because that missed field goal. That missed field goal attempt there. Fucked it up. Right at the end. Could have won. Yeah. Well, that's seriously, if you're that crazy about the plates, then how are you going out to a restaurant? Because look, there's a picture. I mean, yeah, let's see what he says.
Restaurant.
Sorry
Now,
about the
there's been
Batman
a
talk.
lot of question as to, if this suspect, if Brian, should the building not.
Thanks for getting me on back on track, SRB.
The first place that populates or pops up is the Mad Greek. Now, Maddie and Xana both work at the Mad Greek restaurant. Now, there's been a lot of question as to, if this suspect, if Brian, entered the building not through Xana's bedroom window, but let's just say the front door, the back sliding door, one of the other windows. If his target was on the third floor, why would he be going into the second floor? What would be the point? Well,
yeah, we
Xana
talked
also
about that.
worked at the Mad Greek. Madison worked at Mad, and so if he maybe ate there, got in contact with him, he may be familiar with who they are.
Well, and remember all the talk about, because yesterday we were reading the stuff from the bar owner in Pennsylvania, and they said that whenever somebody comes in, they have like this app or something, so that way when somebody comes in, they have an app that pops up with previous messages that were put in from the staff, so that way they can read kind of a background about this person when they're coming in, right? And a lot of those complaints were from the staff about them not accepting his advances, and how he would get mad at them, call them a bitch, and say all this shit, right? Good morning, ATS. Thanks for hopping in. Great show this morning. So think about it like this. I think with what he's going to talk about, it's kind of referring to what we were kind of discussing last night. And if the bar owner in PA had all of these things in this, history of patrons, and he had to have a talk with them, because of all of the staff not wanting to accept his advances, ignoring his advances, and how upset he would get with them, right? So this could definitely make sense that if the first restaurant you look up with vegan tied to it comes up Mad Greek, Zaina and Maddie worked at the Mad Greek. In the Reddit posts, he keeps going on and on and on about how only X and M were targets. So did they not accept his advances and he...
Second floor. You know, what would be the point? Well, Xana also worked at the Mad Greek. Madison worked at Mad Greek. And so if he maybe ate there, got in contact with him, he may be familiar with who they are. In fact, I have a post here from the Mad Greek, and we'll read it real quick. This is on November 14th, so just after the incident. This is very close. It goes, "It is with a broken heart and deep sadness to share with you that we have lost two of our own here at Mad Greek. Xana and Maddie have been servers here for several years, brought so much joy to our restaurant and all of those they encountered. Maddie was also the face behind our social media pages. Maybe perhaps Brian saw her on, her presence on social media. And that's Maddie. And maybe it wasn't so much Kaylee, but Kaylee did, go to this establishment quite often to visit her friends and to support her friends. In fact, we have a review from her on this restaurant that we'll look into as well. With this incredible loss, we have shut down the process and grieve. Our deepest sympathies go out to the friends and family of Xana, Maddie, Ethan, and Kaylee. We as a team our support to anyone. We as a team offer our support to anyone in need at this time. From Jackie and all the Mad Greek family, you will be greatly missed. Thank you for being part of our family and team and for helping me so much over these years. Until we meet again, love, the world's best boss." And it's just super sad, this entire situation.
So I'm really wondering, did he get mad because they didn't accept his advances like the other patron or the other staff in PA, when the bar owner had to confront him and say, "Hey man, I appreciate you coming in." And then he never shows up again. Did the same thing happen with Xana and Maddie?
You can't, in my opinion, it's extremely sad. But is this the connection, y'all? Is this the connection that we've been looking for?
Right, exactly.
This is when you type in on Google vegan restaurants in Moscow, Idaho, you click on Mad Greek, you click on the reviews, you start scrolling.
Phantom, thank you for this link. I appreciate it.
Scrolling down, you start seeing some familiar names. It's truly heartbroken. 2 months ago from Bethany Funk, this place was amazing. The food was delicious. Maddie was an amazing server. We'll be returning soon. You go down a little bit, you start to see Jake S. Always have a great experience when I stop in for dinner at Mad Greek. Maddie is a wonderful waitress, would recommend. Kaylee Goncalves. My experience here was amazing. The server, Maddie, made our experience extra special. Food was amazing. Sample platter was to die for. You guys think this is the connection? You think that this guy...
It's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? Good morning, Allison. Thank you for hopping in. It's gotta be connected, right? If he's acting that way with the staff and PA, where the owner has to confront him and have a talk with him about it, and then he, in the Reddit post, keeps saying over and over X and M were targets, and then, like this guy's saying, you search up vegan restaurants, Moscow, Idaho, and the Mad Greek's the first one that pops up, and X and M work there, and he's had the same issues with staff at previous locations as well. It's got to be connected. I have to wonder. I don't know. What I'm wondering is, this is what I think. Because he just came into town August, September, right? You type, like this guy's saying, you type in vegan restaurant Moscow, Idaho, or surrounding area, Mad Greek probably pops up. He figured, hey, I'll go give it a shot. He's new to the area. He goes out to eat at the Mad Greek, is probably served, probably goes out there a couple times, probably gets served from them, develops, then searches them on Instagram. I think that's how it happened. I think he was on the hunt for who would be his victims. Yeah. And with the way that he was with the waitresses in PA, it would make sense he would be the same way with here, right? You type in vegan restaurant, that's the first one that pops up. He goes to eat there. He keeps claiming in Reddit, supposedly, X and M were the only targets over and over, when hell, all of us thought Kaylee was, or Ethan. But this person was so sure over and over and over and over it's X and M. And then these two work at the Mad Greek, the top search for vegan restaurant. I think that's when he followed them on social media. Like I said before, I think he knew he was good. He knew what he was going to do before he came out there. He didn't know who. He didn't know who it was going to be. He knew he wanted to do it. He was preparing himself to do it. I just feel like he didn't know who until after he got out there. And this makes more sense now, the whole connection, why the Reddit keeps saying X and M. And then with his actions with previous waitress staff, I mean, it just and then to get upset that, it's like, you're going to ask a girl to go out and she turns you down, and you're just going to get that upset to call her a fucking bitch and all this other shit and cause problems. Like, dude, it's like, come on, man. How many stars are out there in this universe? There's that many people on this planet. Come on. You shouldn't be so worried about one person's, there's so many people out there.
Searched up vegan restaurants in the area, found Mad Greek, went to Mad Greek.
Thank you.
Saw Maddie, saw Xana.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm sure there's a vegan restaurant. I don't know. We'll look it up here in a second. We'll see. In Pullman, we'll look to see it. But I bet you Mad Greek is probably, if you just look up, vegan restaurant in both of those areas, I bet you Mad Greek pops up as the first one. It seems to be the place that everybody was at, right?
We perhaps even saw Kaylee, and with that,
I think it's connected.
That's where this, the stalking began, or his presence began. Let me know in the comments section. There's one thing I want to show you guys. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Give me a few seconds. Oh man, I don't think I took a snap out of it, but all right, no big deal. If you look at, and I'm just gonna kind of describe this to the best of my ability, but if you look at the layout of the second floor, if Brian made entry through the sliding glass door or the window in the back of the house, right? Then he could have gone up the stairs and completely missed Ethan and Xana's room. Now, the press release has said that the unconscious person on the 911 call that was referring to the unconscious person was a person on the second floor, one of the victims on the second floor. So it was not one of the roommates that passed out. It was not any of those things. That's not true, and that narrative needs to stop, that it was one of the roommates that passed out. The press release states very clearly that the unconscious person that was reported on was one of the victims on the second floor. My opinion, and I put this out there before, I think
hold on a
the attacking room.
Is that true? Because I haven't heard that. See, I've heard the unconscious person was one of the surviving roommates. Is this true?
So it was not one of the roommates that passed out. It was not any of those things. That's not true, and that narrative needs to stop, that it was one of the roommates that passed out. The press release states very clearly that the unconscious person that was reported on was one of the victims on the second floor.
Does anybody know that? What? Does anybody know about a press release that...
The press release states very clearly that the unconscious person...
Does anybody know that press release? Because I haven't heard this. I haven't heard that that the 911 call for the unconscious person was called for somebody on the second floor. Is that true? Because I don't want to... I was under... I thought it was for the unconscious surviving roommate that passed out. Yes, he is right. Ellie did state that, and yet people... Really? Oh my gosh. I did not know. Shit. Thank you, ATS.
It was on the second floor. My opinion, and I put this out there before, I think the attack in Xana's room started with Ethan, and he was thrown off the bed after he was attacked, and the suspect then climbed on the bed, go after Xana, and when he pulled Ethan down off the bed, he landed face first against the back wall, which would lead to or explain why there...
Wow, so the supposed social media post from somebody that was a friend that was trying to defend the two surviving roommates for being blamed, that's just all a bunch of hogwash then. Yeah, thank you. Interesting.
It was a red substance.
Thank you, Phantom, for the
coming out
link.
of the back wall on the back of the house that appeared to be what everybody thinks it was. He
and again, the link's in the chat.
Attacked in bed and then pulled off bed facing the wall, led in that direction. That's where that would explain that. If you're looking at underneath, the let's just say he locked the door behind him, right? You're looking at the house. It's an older house. It has laminate wood floors. You would assume that those floors were put there after a remodel. Now, given the age of the house, I would assume that that at one point it had carpet. And so I'm guessing that there's probably a pretty good sized crease underneath that door in the floor, that if somebody were to look underneath the door, if they couldn't make...
I wonder what those are rated compared to the other ones. I mean, I guess you would almost have to change your address on Google to Pullman and then type in vegan restaurants near me and see what comes up as the top search, maybe. Christy B. I don't know with this is my only downfall. I love my gosh. Aw. Right. I don't know. I just keep with the NFL hat and the shades. I just keep thinking the Bears. The Bears.
Entry. Let's just say it was locked. Xana's dad just fixed the locks as well. Remember that. He was there a week earlier. Just fixed the locks. So let's just say the perpetrator or Brian locked the door behind him. You know, the downstairs roommates couldn't get inside. Called their friends because they couldn't get anybody to answer the door. And at some point looked at the door and saw somebody on the floor facing the opposite direction of where they were attacked. Then they wouldn't have been able to have seen the red fluid coming out, and thus think that he was possibly just unconscious and not able to open the door. You call the police because, you know, he's on the ground. You can't get in, you can't wake him up. You don't understand why he's on the ground instead of in the bed. And so you call because he's unconscious and you can't get him to wake up. Police get there, unlock the door, and then they see the gruesome scene. You know, that makes a lot more sense than somebody passing out and running out and somebody called 911 because they passed out there. It doesn't make sense to me, because at what point does she call the friends to come over during the time that she discovers, you know, Ethan? Let's just say it is Ethan. From the time that she discovers Ethan to the time that she runs out and passes out, she's supposed to call her friends first, them come over. She call 911, and as she's passing out, that's when they pick up the phone. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so this could shine a little bit of light as to why he went.
I'm glad to know that shit's not true now. Shit. I didn't know. I didn't see that press release.
Into both of the bedrooms.
Hey, Pam.
Let me know what you guys think in the.
Yeah, happy New Year's, everybody, as well again. Yeah, thank you for the link there, Phantom. Appreciate that. We were talking about movies a little bit ago. This is the other movie that I was talking about because I like Val Kilmer's one of my favorite actors. This is the movie The Saint. A lot of people probably haven't seen this movie because it wasn't. Look at that rating though, 4.7, and it is such a great movie. It really shows how versatile he is when it comes to different characters. This is a great movie though. Definitely give it a watch sometime. It's called The Saint from 1997, Val Kilmer. Yeah, what a good movie. Yeah, we were talking Batmans earlier. If you joined us after, we got to a little Batman discussion. We know how JSD feels about Michael Keaton, and it's not just about Batman, is it? All right, so there's that. And there's one other link here. Let me check that real quick. So this is Google searches. Or wait. Let me go to the channel real quick so I can put the channel in. Oh, come on. Crime Time with JB Gunner. So, let me see here. Here's the channel. This is another link from Phantom. I like Val Kilmer too, Christy B. This is a link from Phantom, JB Gunner. And this video...
Now, I don't know about you guys.
Let's see, there's no caption. 17. All right, let's see what he says. Here's a link to the video in the chat if you'd like to have it for yourself. And we'll give it a quick listen here. I like his shirt. Uh-oh, Christy B, somebody else with sunglasses. It's a good thing I just wear prescription, huh?
But I had watched my year life. Today has been a wonderful day. Great start to 2023. Hopefully you guys can say the same in your lives. New Year's Eve kind of sucked a little bit, but today, boy,
maybe yours.
I can't talk about it, but top notch. All right, but anyway, let's get into this because actually something was shared with me on Discord, and I want. By the way, we do have a new disc down in the description box. Something I want to show you guys was something that was shared to me. And I don't see anybody else talking about it, at least on YouTube. So I want to present this to you in this video. What we're going to be talking about is, oddly, there was a bunch of Google searches right before the murders. Everyone's name in that house was searched, with the exception of one. Makes you say, Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let's get on into it. Happy New Year, motherfuckers. Happy New Year. Let's do it.
Damn. I need a cool intro like that, right? Oh shit.
You to everybody that supports this channel, regardless of the method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, PayPal. Guys, truth is, I couldn't do this each and every day as much as I do without you.
Look at all them video games back there, man. I'm jealous. But I probably got just as many on digital copies.
Give a shout out to you guys. Thank you to the Gun Squad for
oh no, for sure. Oh, they seriously do. They do. You really have to watch somebody's eyes. Their eyes may be seen to the ring light. That's true. I don't use a ring light. I got one of those monster cable strips. And it's on a TV screen, so I have it going like up one side of the TV screen, going across, and then down the other. And that's, I figure, instead of because that thing is bright. I've had one of those before. That thing's bright on you. This little monster cable LED strip from Walmart for like $6. I just plug it into the TV with the USB, and then I just stuck it going around the three sides of the TVs. And I don't know, I think it does pretty good. And then I got my neon blue lights going up on the ceiling. Well, I can change whatever color I want them to be, but they're neon blue for the show. But yeah, those things are bright. Those things are bright, that's for sure.
For supporting the channel. I want to give a special shout out to AA, I believe is this person's name in the comment section. Manning, I did get your support, your PayPal. Thank you so much. Guys, if you too want to join the Gun Squad, feel free to hit the links down below and do just that. While you're down there, make sure you sign up for the Discord. Subscribe to my other channels if you like politics or gaming or anything like that. But let's go ahead and get right into this, because I do want to elaborate on this situation just a little bit. Let's go ahead and go on over here. I'm sorry, I'm all worked up. We will be talking about him waiving extradition. We will be doing that today as well. But I wanted to show you this. The beautiful Michelle 777 in the Discord. Shout out to her and Cajun Candy. Top notch. Anyway, she actually brought something to my attention that I wanted to present to you guys and show you. Let me read it to you. This hasn't been anywhere, so prepare yourself. I think JB Gunner should 100% do a vid on this and be the first to talk about it. Usually when I hear stuff like that, it catches my ear, but you never know what kind of goofiness people went to Reddit and shit like that and found. So I don't automatically take these things serious, but then I started reading what she was saying. I started looking at everything. She said, I dug deep into good trends and searches, Google Trends and searches. From October to November, before the murders, there were a lot of searches on 1122 King Road, Idaho. All of these searches came from the Seattle, Tacoma, Washington metro region. It won't let you filter by city in these searches. She said, I looked up other addresses on that road, 0 search results. Then I looked up Kaylee Guns.
I know what you mean by looking pale with those lights, because I look a lot brighter than a lot paler than I usually am in real life on these cameras. That's for sure.
Gonzalez, same amount of excessive searches. Then I looked up Kaylee Gonzalez Instagram, same amount of excessive searches. Same with Maddie, same with Xana, same with Ethan, same with Bethany. Dylan, however, 0 searches. Fucking weird, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these images. I want you guys to see this. Let me see if we can open the original. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'll get it on here the best I can for you guys. But if we take a look at what we're looking at right now, this is 1119 King Road, Idaho. We see absolutely no searches. Let's get back here, okay? That's just a random address. Now let's take a look at King Road. This is King Road, 1122 King Road, the murder house. You see a shitload of activity, a shitload of Google searches. And when you take, we can just do it this way. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. There was a shitload of Google searches at 1122 King Road, 22 on November 6th. Look at that, November 6th. Now, let's go ahead and get back out of here. Sorry, I'm trying to transition and get back to these things.
Okay, why wouldn't there be a shit ton of Google searches on November 6th? It was after the crimes took place and everybody was searching it on fucking YouTube.
We're going to take a look down here. Kaylee, this is Kaylee Gonzalez. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Kaylee Gonzalez. Let's zoom in a little bit.
October.
Kaylee Gonzalez search term. This is from Seattle, Tacoma, last 90 days. October 25th from Seattle, Washington. There was 28 searches for Kaylee Gonzalez.
Well,
why would that be?
Okay, hold on. Huh.
She's not a celebrity or anything of that nature, right? She's not like a social media star or anything like that. Now let's take a look at Maddie, right? This is something that you should definitely look at. This was Kaylee Gonzalez. Okay, 20. Okay, for some reason it was Kaylee again. Sorry. Let's go down here to Maddie. Taking a look at Maddie. Same period of time. 90 days, Seattle, Tacoma, Washington.
Seattle.
93 on October 14th. Guys, I think we know who the target is, right? 93 for Maddie.
Why Seattle?
Oddly enough. So let's go ahead and get back to this. Let's find the next one. So now let's go check out Zaina.
Why Seattle?
Let's check out Zaina, see what Zaina had. Zaina, last 90 days, Seattle, Washington, 77 on October 25th. Maybe she was targeted. So we have 77 Google searches for Zaina on October 25th. You may ask yourself, what? Why would 77 people from Seattle, Tacoma be Googling trends on Google, be Googling Zaina Coronado? Let's get back to this.
Seattle, Tacoma, in that area. I thought Seattle was on the left side of Washington, not on the right. Like Seattle, isn't Seattle on the other end of the state?
To this. Let's take a look at Ethan. On October 9th, 54 Google searches for Ethan. Does any of this make sense to you guys? Things are starting to, present themselves a little bit here. Let's look at Bethany. Take a look at Bethany. This shit is going to blow your mind. Bethany got her name, Seattle, Tacoma. 74 searches for Bethany on October 7th. Why are people Googling these people? Like, I'm really curious about this. Hold on, we're not done. We're not done at all. Not done at all. Now, let's look at Dylan Mortensen. Can I ask you guys a question? Why did everybody here? There's no search results for Dylan Mortensen. Why did everybody here in that house get Googled? That address, no one. Why is Dylan Mortensen not being searched?
Huh. See, look at this. Seattle, this is what I'm saying. Seattle's right here. Tacoma's right here. Pullman and Moscow are way over here. So why is... So why? I don't understand the Seattle, because it's the biggest. I mean, Portland is just as close as Seattle is to Pullman and Moscow. So are these people okay, so are these people supposedly searching from Seattle, or it's just going to the Seattle hub? Is that what it is? Like a Seattle hub? So, let me see. Maybe he is using a VPN. Okay. Maybe at a library or coffee shop. To stay anonymous then? Okay. It's the largest pop in Washington. It's on the I-5 corridor. Huh. Okay, I was just curious because I'm just like, that's what I was confusing me the whole time, is like, Seattle's on the other end of the frickin' state. Idaho's on that side. Seattle's on that side. I didn't understand. Okay. Sorry. Let me go back to this. Plus, I want a deposit to respect the creator, too.
All I'm doing is asking a question. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm not saying anything. But somebody needs to answer me this question. Why in the fuck wasn't Dylan Mortensen being searched? I find this odd, right? I do want to say great work, Michelle, 777. She did great fucking work. Find this. And you guys can join our Discord, by the way. I'll put the link in the bottom.
He says fuck about as much as I do, huh?
That way you guys can take part in these conversations as well.
Probably more.
Come to find out, the Idaho suspect stalked the victims for weeks and wore gloves after quadruple murder to avoid leaving trail of evidence, claims friend of investigator. See, I don't know if I believe this, because remember, he went back to school and he finished his semester. He's not stupid and has been very careful. So let me ask you, don't you think that if he would have wore gloves to school, they would have noticed it? But they are saying that at grocery stores and shit, he was wearing gloves.
I mean,
goes on to say Brian Kohlberger
and it got cold and started snowing there, so it was easy to get away with wearing gloves outside in public or even at the store. Hell, sometimes in the wintertime, I don't take my gloves off when I'm going inside to get stuff at the store. Now, school, that's a different story. You're not going to be wearing gloves in school, so that's interesting. How nobody noticed anything if he wasn't wearing gloves at school.
Allegedly stalked the performance for weeks before the killings occurred, according to a friend of the cop who tracked him down. The source said the suspect was seen wearing gloves after the murders, even to a supermarket, because he's not stupid and has been very careful. Well, I got a question for you. Wasn't it snowing? Didn't we just have the biggest fucking winter and snowstorms of our lives? Like, I want you to think about that for just a second. Wouldn't it make sense for him to wear gloves? And because here's the thing, was he wearing...
Exactly.
This is why I counter this. If he went to school and he finished school and he was so concerned with leaving DNA, wouldn't he have wore gloves there? So I don't hold much, I don't give this much water, right? He was wearing gloves when he went to the grocery store. Well, so is everybody else.
Right?
It was a winter storm. The whole fucking country was covered in snow. You know what I'm saying? Including Moscow, Idaho. And I'm sure Tacoma, Washington, or wherever the fuck, right?
Oh.
Obviously, Kohlberg was...
I don't know. It was pretty damn cold here. What did the weather get like up there, ATS, when all that I don't know about inside. That's what I would be like, you know, if you're going back to school, right? And you're wearing gloves, then somebody would have to be like, huh? And also, if you went to school and you weren't wearing gloves, wouldn't you have something on your hand? So you would think somebody would notice that as well. I don't know. And prayers for Buffalo. Oh my gosh, I heard they had a crazy But inside, no. Somebody would. I mean, that's what I don't like. If he went to school, like, how did somebody not? I don't know. So who? There was chat last night about the nose being broke, maybe during the struggle, or re-broke again during the struggle, and possibly had some bruising still left over in the mugshot. If he went back to school after the crimes, then I don't see that taking place, because then somebody would definitely notice a broken nose or a black eye. So that takes that out. Yeah. How did somebody, especially if he's even like teaching and stuff too, how did somebody not know his hands?
Was arrested at his home, a family's home, on Friday following a month-long investigation. Cell phone data showed that he was in the same area as his victims in the weeks leading up to their deaths. So he was stalking them. Everywhere their phones went, his phones went. So he was stalking them the entire time, is what's being said.
What?
Now, I don't know how much I take, I don't know how much I believe in this shit, but let's take a look at this right here. Okay, this is the friend of the cop that I guess hunted him down. It said, "Anonymous, please. He was arrested only 40 minutes from our home near our aunt and uncles. Went to school with my cousins." Oh, this is somebody else. Hold on. So what was this? It was another Facebook post. "A good friend of ours who was one of the cops who've been following him the last couple of days," the source explained. Okay, here we go. This was it. "Anonymous, please. He was arrested only 40 minutes from our home near our aunt and uncles. Went to school with my cousins. His sister lives in our town. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who had been following him the last couple of days. He coaches with my husband and was telling him all the crazy details. He followed him into a giant local grocery store and wore gloves the entire time. He's not stupid and has been very careful. Also, he's been stalking them for weeks. Not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed their every move for weeks. So freaking scary and disturbing. I've been so invested in this case for 6 weeks, and to find out how close he is to us and that one of our friends just found him and arrested him, it's just crazy. And to find out how close he..."
All right. Giant Eagle. Oh, yeah. I miss those grocery stores. And wore gloves the entire time. In the cold, I've wore gloves the entire time inside a grocery store. He's not stupid and has been very careful. Also, he's been stalking them for weeks. Not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed their every move for weeks. And that's what Vape Shop Dude was talking about when News Nation interviewed the Vape Shop guy. And he was saying that they would talk about them being followed. So they just assumed it was Kaylee. But really, it was all of them.
He is to us, and that one of our friends just found him and arrested him. It's just crazy. So apparently he's been stalking her, according to this one. But here's where this person's gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if I hold much credence into this. I guess it's possible, but
I don't know where that information came from, or how they know that his phone pinged. When he's not even in Idaho yet.
It was.
But maybe somebody has information that we don't have access to yet, right? Once we get the probable cause affidavit, we'll know a lot more shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wants it out as quick as possible.
Winter, of course he was wearing gloves.
This dude is so egotistical, it's crazy.
People are trying to present that as if, no, he was trying to keep his fingerprints off of shit.
Happy New Year, Josie. Thank you for hopping
because
in.
If he was going to school, he would have worn them there too.
Geofencing.
I mean, he might have. Police chief investigating Idaho murder says he believes that the suspect acted alone. I have to admit to you guys, at this very point in time, I kind of agree with that. Even though I believe this is just a lone incel doing incel shit, right?
Yeah, just
After alleged killer asked cops if they apprehended anyone else on being arrested. He said, so basically,
yeah, that was an interesting question that he had asked them. Is there anybody else that's been arrested? That is an interesting question that was asked. Sam Hyde. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. Here's a link to the video if you want to check it out. Since you're hopping in late, here's the link for that.
Police chief in this interview, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it or hear it, but he basically says, I'm not watching all six minutes of it right now. Basically, he says that he believes the killer acted alone. And remember from the very start, that's what I thought. I was like, you got to be a dumb motherfucker to kill 4 people with a partner that could snitch on you, right? Like, so I've always thought that it sounded dumb for other people to be involved, at least in the act. Now, here's the thing. People are throwing a fit all over the place because this guy, he's going to fight. The lawyer for the killer is saying, we're not going to fight extradition. He wants to get back to Idaho as quickly as possible. Brian Koberger seems inclined not to fight Idaho authorities wanting him in their jurisdiction, but sounds confident he'll beat the charges. Jason Labar, Koberger's extradition hearing attorney, tells TMZ his client is, for now, likely to waive his right to have a looming transportation back to Idaho heard in front of a judge. So he could get shipped back next week, where he will then be entering a plea. Now, this could go one of 2 ways. Either he's just enjoying this and he's going to fuck around and enter a guilty plea, but I don't think that's going to be the case, at least not in this one.
Yeah.
Because he said his client told him.
Exactly. There's so many similarities to Bundy's stuff, Josie. You know, really. When we found out he was arrested Friday, and then we started learning about the research study program that he was doing, and then he was also in criminal justice, it automatically took me to frickin' Bundy. It automatically took me to Bundy once I heard criminal justice, and then the research.
He felt he would be exonerated, which obviously suggests that he believes he's innocent. So Koberger wants to rush back to Idaho to face these charges. He believes he'll be exonerated. I'm curious why this is. I got some shit for y'all. What if we were to find out that Koberger was with his dad the entire time? That's all I'm asking. What if he actually has an alibi? Remember, his dad was there to pick his.
He was. Okay. His dad the whole time, but I thought that he was still at WSU after that, right? Well, Christy B, they were talking about how they were watching for 4 days, and they were dressing up as garbage men, and they were collecting garbage, and I guess that's where they got the DNA match when they arrested him. What if the seatbelt violation is to create a paper trail to explain he's always in the area? I want to know if there's body cam for that ATS. I want to know how he reacted. I want to know how that went down. the way that he talked, the words that he used, his expressions, his emotions during that stop, that is a good possibility, because it's either, totally accepting of everything because he just wants to create that paper trail, or does he become his egotistical, where he didn't do anything wrong, and I'm gonna prove it in court, because the charge, he only paid a $10 fee, and I don't know anywhere where a seatbelt ticket is $10. So I'm wondering if he got a lawyer to fight the seatbelt ticket, and then he just ended up paying a $10 fee because he didn't show up to court for it. He failed to appear, and then the fine was only $10, and he wasn't issued a warrant for his arrest after the failure to appear. So I'm wondering if he got a lawyer to fight the seatbelt ticket because he didn't feel he did anything wrong and he was right. So I'm wondering if there's some body cam and what took place in that, at that traffic stop there. The dad's got some explaining to do. That car is covered in blood and stopped for a mechanical fix. And that is a good possibility. I mean, in the house where the case took place, I wonder why other sleuths haven't found that body cam yet. Unless I don't know, unless it was late Latah County or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe it was a really small, tiny town, and they wouldn't have body cam. But I mean, this day and age, most have body cam now. So not only for, to even protect themselves. So I would like to know, was there an argumentative exchange, or was there a passive acceptance of all, to create that paper trail? That's a good question. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what we got. A couple minutes of this guy here.
Dad, he drove back to Pennsylvania.
So this guy's now asking if he was with his dad the whole time, but I don't think that can be possible, right? Because he went back to school and was still grading papers, because there was students that were saying that after the crime took place, he wasn't as harsh with his grades, and he wasn't leaving comments on everybody's papers anymore. So how could I'm confused. Fill me in. What is he talking about here? The dad. Yeah, he has a 2015. Yep. But they do look similar. We saw a picture of it last night. They do look similar. I could see how when you have a grainy footage of the vehicle, I could see how you could confuse a 2011 to 13 for a 2015 if you don't have a video with clarity, because the scoop up in the back window is still the same. The headlights are still similar, and the tail light and even the body shape are still similar. So if the footage is kind of I can see how those could be confused. His dad flew out to drive home with him. Yep, that's right. Graduation was in second week of December. Yep. It was somewhere between the 13th and the 16th when they... So I don't understand how he could be with his dad the whole time, but I'm going to check this out here in a second and see what he says. But I'm just curious. I'm confused. So maybe they shrugged it off because police were looking. Almost like some built-up. Yeah, exactly, SRB. Like, he had all this tension. He was harsh with his grades, and he was, so and then all of a sudden, after he did it, he had that breath of fresh air, and so he wasn't. The student said he wasn't writing anything on our papers anymore. He wasn't as harsh with his grading. Oh, okay. Yeah, it had to be pre-planned. This guy's 20. Brian Cober's like 28, I think. I've heard two different ages. I've heard 25 and 28, but I believe it's 28.
Remember, his dad was there to pick him. His dad, he drove back to Pennsylvania with his dad in his dad's vehicle.
Right.
The car that he was driving, the white Hyundai, which I'm shocked that that was his parents' vehicle. It was a 2015. So his parents had to have already been there. So where was his dad when this shit took place? I wonder if he told his dad anything on the way home, Phantom? Or I wonder if he did it at all.
Right.
What if he drops a bombshell the minute he comes back here and has proof that he was with his father somewhere? Let that sink in for just a second. But the question still has to be asked about when it comes to those Google searches. Why is it that Dylan Mortensen was the only person not Google searched? Did the guy just not?
Okay. LE said that they matched DNA. So how can you argue DNA? Friday before the press conference, they came out and said that they linked and matched the DNA to articles found at the crime scene. So I don't understand. Like they said that they matched before the press conference even happened, because I was fucking shocked. I was like, whoa, how did they match his DNA when they just arrested him at 3 a.m? That was the big question Friday before the press conference even took place. And it said that they had matched his DNA to, I forget the exact wording, but basically to articles found at the crime scene. I don't know. How can you argue DNA?
No.
Well, he's an adult. I don't know everything. That's true. And it had to have been weird. You would think that, yeah, laundry vibes, Josie. There's, there are people that feel that they did know and that they even wanted, there's people that in the chat that also feel that the parents knew something about it and were trying to get him home safely. Kind of like the laundry comment that you're talking about, Josie. And then at the same time, I'm thinking the dude was so into how the brain works and psychology and all of this stuff. And you look at a lot of these pictures he has, and it's a lot of the no emotion, nonchalant faces. And I could easily, if you have no emotion before you go out there, to people, and then you're coming back, riding back with dad, coming back to around home and shit, and you're no emotion, I can see how people wouldn't think anything different either. Because if you look at a lot of his pictures, a lot of it is just nonchalant, no emotion. So if you're that way before you leave and then you come back and you're acting that way so people can't tell, because if you show emotion, somebody would be able to notice something, then people that were normally around you when you didn't show emotion in the first place, they're not going to be able to pick up on that stuff. So I could definitely see how the parents would have known, could have helped, kind of like laundry shit. But at the same time, I could see how family might not have known. You know what I mean? Especially with just the no emotion.
She lived there?
Well, they did say that about the DNA. Josie, Dylan. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get to chat here. I'm going to be honest here. Dylan is like 6 foot tall, mainly in feature stature. If this guy likes Barbies, Dylan isn't that type. She is a large girl. Maybe they match DNA from crime scene in parents' garage. That's what I was thinking, because they said that they dressed up as garbage men and collected trash, because once trash is thrown down, it's not personal property anymore. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in here. Could Ellie have gotten a search warrant to check his apartment after he left for PA? It all depends on what they have in the probable cause, right? I can't wait till that comes out. I cannot wait. I'm hoping at least Friday so we could talk about it all weekend. Because we're gonna be diving into that shit. I read something where the mom booked a rest dinner and asked for dim lighting. What? That's weird. That too about the trash, yeah. And if his parents babied him as possible, there's somewhat right. That too, because it does sound like there's some entitlement, right? You're 28 years old. You're 28 years old and your dad's flying out. They're not giving you money, right? They're not giving you a couple $100, because you're a student. They're not giving you a couple $100 to go stay at a Best Western on the 37-hour drive. No, dad's flying out to fucking Washington to help you drive back. I don't know. It just seems like entitled a little bit, my opinion. Good morning, Willow. Thank you for hopping in. I was saving this link that you sent me. I wanted to make sure I waited until you hopped in to do the pizza link. So I wanted to save that. All right, let me hear what this guy's saying here.
That seems weird, right? Google searched. Did the guy just not know she lived there? That seems weird, right? Or did the person not have a need to search Dylan? That's all I'm saying. Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time with JB Gunner. I'm curious what you guys think about this. There's more that I can present to you, but I'm curious what you guys think about all this. He's ready to come back. He's not going to fight extradition. He's going to be here. He wants to face this. He's going to put in a plea of not guilty because essentially he's saying he'll be exonerated.
Freaking StreamYard.
That's a big one.
God.
The police chief says he believes that he acted alone. All these Google searches. I'm curious what's going on. In the next video I'm going to bring to you later on today, we're going to be talking about some shit I didn't think I would talk about. I guess his Reddits, his social media has been found. And we're going to go over some.
Yeah, and if you want to go over our conversation with all the Reddit stuff, just go to last night's episode and skip ahead till about the 2-hour mark, and then you can kind of hang out with us in last night's shows. We went through that Reddit stuff. Thank you again for that link, Phantom. I appreciate it. Let me check the sub list real quick. I do have a bunch of videos that I saved today. I'm just going through everybody's links here, and I would say real quick, but it's not real quick because we've already been on for 2 hours. So give me 1 second. Let me see. Wow, it's already noon. And I'm going to be having CJ Evil Sims 4 episode coming out either this evening or this afternoon. I'm going to be jumping on Twitch after a little bit to live stream that. But I won't be on YouTube when I'm doing it. I'll just be streaming it to Twitch. Let me see here. Crime to Sleep. That's the family. Here we go. Speaking of DNA, we have a DNA video. So just give me 1 second. I need to. Ooh, there's 2 News Nation videos we're going to be watching here in a second. Because I like this guy. He actually followed me back on Twitter. I was surprised. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that video first. Yeah, this guy actually followed me back on Twitter. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? That's cool.
Incidents at a brewery in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this guy right here.
The female bartenders that made them extremely
Thank you, sir.
Uncomfortable enough that this information was in the system and was flagged at the door. So is this kind of behavior a track record with women significant as law enforcement builds the case profile?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is something that needs to be explored thoroughly. And let me give you one more if you like that one.
And I really like anytime this guy pops up on these News Nation or any other videos, the stuff that this gentleman says, I totally respect. He's one of the few people I really enjoy sitting back and listening to his views and what he has to say. Phantom, just about time for a drink. Oh, yes. Let me go to the pizza one real quick. 1 second. My bad, Willow. Let me do that one real quick. And then we'll get back to this News Nation. I got a couple News Nation. Okay, here. Is it coming up? All right, this is the video Willow was talking about last night.
We are going to talk
the pizza video.
Grub Wandering Kitchen.
Here's the link
AKA
if you'd like to have it as well.
I'm actually going to talk about it while eating a pizza.
Oh, I thought he was going to make it. Oh my God, that looks
We're
good.
gonna discuss food.
Oh my God, that looks good.
The Grub Truck. And we're talking about the
Parmesan cheese.
Murders in Moscow. 4 college students brutally stabbed during the early morning hours of November.
Oh, come on. You got to dump more Parmesan cheese on there than that. You got to dump more Parmesan cheese on that. They may have feared him. Can you imagine if he's the way he is with others and having to always be right? Yeah. Like almost forceful and shit, right, SRB? That's why women always carry, even if that exactly, that's what SRB, mace, spray, something. It's funny, Josie. You say wasp spray, Bruin says wasp spray. Right? Eating chicken and noodle soup. Ooh, Pam, I got me some chicken noodle soup, some Campbell's Kitchen Classics at the store. Oh, I got 2 of them. I'm going to slam on that shit in between shows tonight. And I'll definitely be back on my, I'm still on my normal 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be going into some stuff tonight too. All right, let's get to this. Man, dude, you need to dump some more Parmesan on that. I love me some Parmesan.
13th, 2022, inside a home in Moscow, Idaho, and police have made no arrests. They haven't publicly identified any suspects. Murder weapon was a knife. They haven't found the knife. They're looking for a white Hyundai Elantra that they believe has critical information about this case. Let's talk about the Grub Truck, right? So we've seen all the images, and in case someone didn't see the images, 2 of the victims, Kaylee and Madison, were in downtown Moscow during the early morning hours, around 1:30-ish, 1:15. They were returning from a corner club, and they went to a Grub Truck. Seems like the Grub Truck was around 3rd and Main Street. These images.
Hot dogs, mac and cheese.
Yes, you've seen them.
One of the most
if you haven't, welcome aboard.
Exactly.
So, the Grub Truck.
Justice, that's exactly right. Like, on a serious note, it is probably going to be one of the most evil, premeditated fucking murders. Seriously. Well put. The Reddit user and his post have been deleted. Oh my gosh. I think it was too, Allison. So I'm glad we went through it last night. Thank you, Bruin. I appreciate the link. I'm glad we went through that last night then. Wow. Because now we can go back to the show and have unfiltered access to the whole fucking Reddit. And I put that in the stream. If you'd like to watch us go over the Reddit, you can skip ahead to about the 2 hour and 10 mark of last night's show. Definitely got to get you some spray. Yeah. Wow. Spray's 5 feet. Seriously. Yeah, that's right. So what's he talking about here? Grub truck owner John Fletcher.
Who owns the grub truck?
What about this guy?
Who owns the grub truck? Well, I was doing a little digging and reading some articles and trying to learn a little bit about the owner.
Here's
the
a
owner
link to the video
of that grub truck is an individual by the name of John Fletcher. This guy.
All right. Oh, they even got Twitch on their sign. Speaking of Twitch, I'll be on Twitch doing CJ Evil episode 4.
John Fletcher.
Sims 4.
Now, Joey Woodall is the individual that filmed the encounter that, we seen Kaylee, Madison ordering food, and we seen a hoodie guy behind them that people are saying is an individual, Jack Showalter.
I know it looks so good, but it's too crunchy for me. I watched him rip apart that pizza. I'm like, damn, that thing's stiff.
Joey Woodall, he is the manager at the time of that grub truck. But John Fletcher, he owns it. And I want to share some history about John. I've read some articles and I'm going to share that with you and we will discuss further.
KLEW News did a report about the grub truck, aka Grub Wondering Kitchen, back in 2021. I'm going to read this to you. The Grub Wondering Kitchen, also known as Grub Truck, has been serving the city of Moscow since 2013, but owner John Fletcher had a rocky road to travel before its opening. I had just had my second restaurant fail miserably up in Spokane, so I was broke, said Fletcher.
Oh, wow.
Broke back at square one, working for a friend at South Fork Restaurant in Pullman, and a whole lot of adversity of face. But as you probably heard, out of adversity comes opportunity.
Wow. So he was... Good morning, Silky, or afternoon. I think it's afternoon for you. Good afternoon. How you doing today? And now it's... Man, I know. I'm so hungry for pizza. Oh, so hungry. I know. We're all hungry for pizza now. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Willow. I should have waited.
I found a box truck on Craigslist for $1,500. I just kind of bought it on the whim. 2 months later, I had it finished, so that's what I could do. It wasn't so much a choice, but like if I wanted to stay in the industry, stay an owner, I had to scale down, explained Fletcher. A mobile food truck seems like the perfect recipe for operating during a pandemic, but not necessarily. Fletcher noted, we decided to close down for a couple months that the bars were closed.
I tell you what, Josie, he does have a lot of videos, but I'll be honest, there's some of them over the last couple weeks where I've been like, damn, that was a pretty good one. I have to admit that. Pizza is the Italian word for bad smell.
Grub truck parks right outside of the Garden Lounge in Moscow, targeting late night bar goers passing by as his customers, but John wasn't in as much of a rush to reopen as other small business owners. Honestly, I feel a little guilty about trying to slam my business over the top during these times. I don't want to try and talk people into going out when they don't want to be out in public, said Fletcher. With this in mind, after Grub Truck shut down for 4 months, John made sure to make everyone feel as safe as possible. We've also required masks from everyone who stops by because even though it is outdoors, once you're up there paying, your face is about a foot or two from the cashier's face. So 600 or 800 people come through over a course of a week. That makes the cashier feel pretty unsafe.
Yeah. Josie, is he going to eat? I tell you what. Oh man, I wish I could right now. And thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. His wiki is somebody asked me to check it out one of those days, and I was like, holy shit. But like I said, I don't know. The last couple weeks, I've gotten some pretty good information off a few of them videos. What's your favorite type of pizza? I like thin crust, barbecue sauce as the sauce, bacon, and ground beef. That's my favorite pizza. My favorite's like a cheeseburger pizza. How does one sue? Do they answer? I grow my pizza. Josie, I grill my pizza. I even hand toss. Really? You grill it on the grill? I never thought of that. I bet that's fucking cool. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. You guys are hilarious. I love you guys.
Added Fletcher. After experiencing going out of business with one of his restaurants, which went under during the recession, John learned his lesson and was prepared for whatever the pandemic was going to bring this time around. He survived this time because probably keep a good cash reserve. Yeah, don't live too close to the edge of your means financially, concluded Fletcher.
Pizza.
Grub Truck, as we said earlier, is located outside the Garden Lounge in Moscow, located at 313 South Main Street. You can check out their full menu of 9 different mac and cheese flavors and other menu items on their website, www.gribtruck.com. I'm thinking that's grubtruck.com. Their current hours during the pandemic, Wednesday through Saturday from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. And according to this report, John Fletcher, owner of the Grub Truck, is a veteran in the service industry and has worked in restaurants across the country. The owner also runs another food business, Peekaboo, on South Hill in Spokane since 2005 with his sister and is still going strong. While talking about the food truck, he also added, in general, it's not very difficult. It's just kind of deciding what my favorite foods are and trying to make the best version of it that I can. The truck starts working at 11 p.m. and winds up till the last customer goes off on the 500 block of South Main Street in Moscow on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. The truck also has a lot of delicious dishes on its menu, including 5 cheese mac of the week, berry Nutella cheesecake burrito. According to Edible Idaho, he was also popular for bringing Twitch platform to his business. Through this, Fletcher has tried to stream customer experiences to the public by placing 2 cameras inside his truck and 2 cameras outside to stream customers' interactions. These streaming, they have also earned good contribution from food lovers across the globe. The outlet claims that on average, viewers donate roughly $1,000 to Grub Truck's Twitch, either via Bitcoin or PayPal, at an estimated $7 per meal. That's nearly 142 free burritos a month.
So the truck, he bought for $1,500, and he has other businesses in Washington State. Said Pullman was mentioned, Spokane. I did a business search on this Grub Truck.
So if you go on to Google, put Idaho Business Search, they have a site where you can search for businesses in Idaho. Click on it. really easy here. I'll put in Wondering Kitchen. Boom. This is who owns the Wondering Kitchen. It says the agent John Fletcher. It's already been reported in news agencies. He is the owner. Wondering Kitchen INC. Now, if you click on that, it'll tell you more. I'm not going to click on it here because it's YouTube, but if you click on it, it shows addresses and information about this business. You guys can do that on your own if you choose to. I'm just sharing where you can find businesses in Idaho and information about certain businesses. The Wondering Kitchen, aka the Grub Truck.
So if anyone else wants information, you can do that same tactic I just explained. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Grub Truck. I was there. I tried to communicate with the people that were running the Grub Truck. I was there at night. It pulls up at night, a little bit after 10 p.m. and stays out there till, after 1 a.m. And it seems like it's out there Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in the cold. I was there. But they didn't want to talk. I asked, watch that video, by the way. Watch that video. That's a video I posted.
Bruin.
The people inside did not want to speak. And I respected their space. I asked, it's a public street. Hey, you want to talk about this? You're the famous Grub Truck. No, we don't want to discuss whatever. So they don't want to discuss. I'm thinking they don't want to discuss because the authorities probably spoke into it. So what's the relevance to the Grub Truck? Do you think anyone with the Grub Truck, including the owner that I shared, and I'm just sharing who this guy is that owns the Grub Truck. Some people are not aware. There's a lot of people online saying that Joey, the manager that had the interactions with Madison and Kaylee, is the owner. He's not the owner. He just is the manager. The owner is John Fletcher. So what's your thoughts on that? Even though, I'm sharing what, about the Grub Truck, but do you think the Grub Truck is in any way connected to these murders, right? Because there is speculation. A lot of people post in different groups. A lot of people are discussing about this case. It's a big case. It's a national interest case. And, they throw it back. Oh, the Grub Truck people are suspicious, or someone around that town down by the Grub Truck knows something. Jack Showalter, the hoodie guy. I don't even know if he is the hoodie guy. I'm just going by what other people said, though Kaylee's father said on the record that the hoodie guy more or less is Jack Showalter because he said he fled to Africa or overseas, he said. So, Jack Showalter, a lot of people saying Einen Harsh, a neighbor, was seen down there. Do you think that Grub Truck has critical information if there's a stalker involved with this case with Kaylee? And
I don't know. I mean, we could always go through that Grub Truck video again sometime and actually see if. But I feel like if this dude was following them, I feel like he wouldn't have been that damn close for us to even be able to see him on the Grub Truck. But if you guys think we should go through the Grub Truck again some night and see if we notice some other suspicious character just standing and not ordering food, I suppose we could, but I just wouldn't think he would be hanging out that close, because then he would be easily spotted by them. Just leave. Yeah, and if you enjoy the podcast, tell your friends to hop on in too. I don't get why JLR is hung up on the food truck. He should be. Yeah, I don't think the food truck. I don't know. If you guys want me to, we could always go through. We could always go through the Grub Truck video again, if you guys would ever want to some night. I just feel like he wouldn't be that close to be captured by the video. But then again, I'm not a stalker, so I don't really know. But yeah, if you guys ever want to, we could do that again. Thank you, ATS. I appreciate that. Post. Okay, I appreciate that, because I didn't know if, I don't want to go overboard, but I definitely don't want to not do it enough either, I just want to try and be the best that I can be for you. JLR did a phone. The jail murder was out in PA. We should investigate by visiting. Man, food trucks do sound good, don't they? especially tacos. Oh, tacos. Let's send a cheesecake to say congrats on your capture. I don't want to know if the food truck has any vegan options. Doubtful, but who knows? Lots of vegans on the West. That is true. Overboard is good. Okay. Okay. Right on. I keep hearing the Police song, Don't Stand Too Close to Me. Oh, Bruin. You're the shit. All right, now I'm going to go back to this video. Yeah, I like what this guy says. There's only 3 people, maybe 4, I really like when they pop up on these interviews with News Nation and stuff. He's one of them, and I'm surprised he actually followed me back.
Brian Enton confirmed there were some incidents at a brewery in Pennsylvania. Aggressive flirting with a couple of female bartenders that made them extremely uncomfortable. Uncomfortable enough that this information was in the system and was flagged at the door. So is this kind of behavior a track record with women significant as law enforcement builds the case and profile?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, this is something that needs to be explored thoroughly. And let me give you one more if you like that one. For me, this case has really struck me recently when we found out about what this guy's age is. He's 28. It's really hard for me to fathom that he's just getting started perpetrating this kind of behavior at 28 years of age. You know, I'm not inside the room with the police officers making the decisions about this, but they need to take a real long, hard look at his history in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
They need to go to various properties he's
Seriously.
lived at. They need to take a look at this guy very, very carefully
Especially that research.
and see if there's anything that can tie him back to any other instances. You don't get this sudden escalation in violence,
you know
like this,
what?
in my opinion, at least.
I do follow Chronicles of Olivia, or I do sub to her. Has an interview with ones. Okay, I did see that there was a video coming up. I saw it last night that it was coming up at some point. I'll go through my subs and look for that one. Okay.
That is,
Thank you.
it seems to be so well thought out.
Wow, that's chilling insight. So we know one of the victims was brutally attacked with a knife more than the others. So how do investigators build in this quadruple murder?
Well, you know, that's the thing about it. I'm glad you brought up the idea of motive because, you know, in court, you don't have to prove motive. But what you do have to prove is that he was the perpetrator of the crime. And of course, being a forensic scientist, I'm going to rely upon that. I want to know the numbers. I want to know, you know, his connectivity vis-a-vis any tiebacks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It was coming up at the end of the week, right? That's right. Well, thank you for hopping in, Bruin. And thank you for that link again. I think I'll probably end up going through the serial killers later tonight in tonight's episode, probably. Hell, we've already been on 2 hours and 15. So I'll probably end up saving the vegan serial killers for tonight. I appreciate you hopping in. Thank you. And it was nice seeing you in ATS's stream this morning, too. Yeah, have a great day. If anybody would like to hop up, you're more than welcome. Open panel invite there. All right, go back to what he's saying. Thank you again, Bruin.
And probably his methodologies that he employed while he was perpetrating these crimes. Again, this goes back to any kind of linear connection he might have in his recent past or distant past and all of these various locations. And those are going to be specific tiebacks that are going to be very foundational. Again, motive is not necessary in court. It's great to have. We see it as a device in entertainment, but it's not necessarily something that you have to have in court. Yeah, and again, Kelly, I'm glad that you mentioned the idea of system. He's not a forensic scientist. He has not been studying forensic science. There was an article that came out earlier today where it was conflating I think some of his studies with the study of forensic science, nothing could be further from the truth. He's a studier of behavior. That's what he was going into.
Psychological
criminal behavior. All right. Forensic science and those things are not the same thing. So he's not going to have the same skill set, say, for instance, as somebody that would have worked in the forensic sciences. He might have an understanding, at least from a spectator point of view, from how crime scenes are processed, but he's not going to know everything. Trust me, in this particular case. He is going to be limited in his knowledge of forensic science, may have made attempts by virtue of what he's seen or witnessed or heard in the classroom to mask some behaviors, but I can almost promise you he's left some trace behind. That's how they've gotten their hands on him at this point, and that's how this tale is going to be told. Well, I think that we're products of the environment, in which we are introduced into. He has an interest, obviously, in the study of criminal behavior. And the fact that he went to such a fine scholar as Catherine Ramsden to sit there and be in her class is not necessarily surprising. Again, you can't, not you, but just in general, you can't conflate, his worldview with those of us that study behavior and criminal behavior and also forensic sciences. He just sought out the information just like any other accused might that has been accused of some kind of horrific crime. You're going to go and sit around and try to learn what you can about how things, if you're looking to defeat a lock in a residence or something like that, wouldn't it be cool if you could learn it from a locksmith or see what they do? It's essentially the same thing. But, in very broad terms, he's in a scholarly environment. He's not in an applied environment where he is learning from point A to point B to Z about how the process necessarily works. It's a very broad-banded kind of environment that he's in. So the fact that he went there, he's a Pennsylvania resident, it's not too far away, is kind of interesting. I think what's more interesting to me at this point is why Washington State? Fine school, but why did he choose to travel all the way across the country? Was there someone else's feet he was seeking to sit at to learn more out there? Why so far away from Pennsylvania? There are a number of fine schools up in the area where he comes from, where he could have gotten the same education.
I like what
I'm just wondering why he chose to go to Washington State. And, I think that the police are exploring a lot of that.
I want to know why he thinks he went to Washington State. I like what this dude says a lot.
Keep in mind, this was only his first semester of doctoral level studies at this point. So is there some kind of connection to the victims and his desire to go to Washington State? And I think that's something that these investigators are going to explore all the way down the line.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
That's a good question to go into tonight's show as well. Why Washington State? That's a very good question. Why Washington State? And again, if let's see, if he was stalking them, stalker don't give a shit where their victims are, right? Why Washington State? He brought up a really good question. Why Washington State? All right, that was one video from the News Nation that came up. Let me see here. And then there was another one. Let me check that real quick. Why Washington State? Man, I'm up to 400 videos almost. I need to go through this thing again and weed whack. But there's so many good videos I want to save. That's the thing. It's just a lot of videos that I don't even go through, like Mega Millions and other stuff. I just don't even end up making it to. Those are the stuff I need to cut out. So that's a good video. I'm keeping it. Here's another one. This talks about the DNA. Police reportedly used DNA data to track down alleged Idaho killer. So this is what we've been talking about the whole time when it comes. I'm going to probably end up saving this video too. Let me see something here. Come on, StreamYard. Because see, I still say he sought out that professor wanted. That's what I'm thinking, SRB. That's what I'm thinking. He's like, ooh, BTK. I want to learn from her. Exactly, SRB. Why stalk them? Because of social media? Maybe something in the laws. Yeah, thank you for being here. By the way, the Survivor pod I will watch is going to have BTK's daughter on later this week. Wow. I still have to check out that channel. I still have to check that one out. All right, let me make sure I like this video. Police reportedly used DNA. Let's hear about this. Let's hear more about this DNA.
25 minutes before the top of the hour on Monday, murder suspect Brian Koberger will reportedly waive extradition, fast-tracking his return to Idaho. He was caught last week in Pennsylvania, 7 weeks after the stabbings of those 4 college students.
Whoa.
This, as sources say, that genealogical DNA was established.
That the father and son duo were pulled over twice in Indiana during the trip to Pennsylvania. He also said he was not sure who had been driving. Wow. Oh, wow. That is interesting, SRB. Huh. That is interesting.
Leading police to Mr. Koberger. Joining us right now, forensics pathologist and
from what I understand, all the homes out there have like an acre of property per home, I guess.
Fox News contributor, Dr. Michael Bodden. Dr. Bodden, welcome back.
Hi, good to see you.
So, you know, it would be one thing if they went up to a suspect and said, hey, can you give us a swab? They didn't do that. Apparently, there was a lot of DNA all over that apartment building.
Right.
And they compared it to publicly available DNA. It sounds like somebody in his family did one of those 23andMe things or was in a government law enforcement database, and they tracked it down to him through them.
Yeah, that's a possibility. The only caution we should have is this is all unofficial information
100%.
Released on the internet. And once he's gotten back to Moscow from Pennsylvania, extradited perhaps today or tomorrow.
Right.
Then the prosecutor in Idaho will be able to have a hearing on the warrant that they have, and the information.
Well, Justice, maybe you have cable, huh? I don't have cable. I have Hulu, but I don't have the right Hulu package. So for me to watch News Nation live, I have to pay $69.99 to Hulu or subscribe to cable. It sucks. I believe once for speeding and once for following too closely to a car in front of them. Wow. Did we find much information about I was actually gonna do. I have 4 names written down. Oh, you got Hulu Live? I have a Hulu package. It's a bundle with Disney, ESPN, and Hulu. And for some reason, when I signed into my Hulu, it said that I didn't have the right package. So I don't know what kind of package I'm supposed to have. But I have that bundle. The Disney, Hulu, ESPN bundle. Because I like Disney. I get all my Star Wars movies on there for free. Well, not free, but you know. Almost like they were trying to find something on them in Pursuit, maybe. How did they connect his DNA? All right, we'll get to it. I'm sorry, Chris. We'll get to it here.
On which his arrest is based,
right,
which might include DNA, But to do DNA, he has to have left some DNA at the scene.
Right.
And with all the blood there, 99% of it would probably be from the victims.
Right.
Whereas his DNA would only be there if he probably wore gloves or they would have had fingerprints.
What the fuck? Hold on.
Cutting himself because blood is slippery, and when you stab a lot of people, you might cut yourself. Or if one of the victims had scratched him and had it under her fingernails.
Right.
So the DNA is a possibility. The Elantra car, the Hyundai car, may also be important because they followed the car. They're according to the.
What the fuck? It didn't sound like.
25 minutes before the top of the hour on them.
It didn't sound like he said anything about how the DNA was
law enforcement database, and they tracked it down to him through them.
Yeah, that's a possibility. The only
I don't think
caution
he
we should have
says
is this is all unofficial information
100%.
released on the internet. And once he's gotten back to Moscow from Pennsylvania,
right
extradited.
here. Genetic DNA. Yeah, that's what was being reported Friday. But Christy B, I don't think he says. But let me.
Perhaps today or tomorrow.
Right.
Then the prosecutor in Idaho will be able to have a hearing on the warrant that they have and release the information on which his arrest is based,
right,
which might include DNA. But to do DNA, he has to have left some DNA at the scene.
Right.
And with all the blood there, 99% of it would probably be from the victims.
Right.
Whereas his DNA would only be there if he probably wore gloves or they would have had fingerprints. And cutting himself because blood is slippery, and when you stab a lot of people, you might cut yourself. Or if one of the victims had scratched him and had it under her fingernails.
Right.
So the DNA is a possibility. But the Elantra car, the Hyundai car, may also be important because they followed the car. According to the internet, and what's been released so far, the car left Moscow, driven by his father, going to Pennsylvania for 4 days. Now they had the DNA evidence in Idaho. They would have arrested him in Idaho to let them go for 4 days with being observed, and then arresting him. So it would indicate there were other things besides DNA that were involved.
Right, exactly. And you're absolutely right. The DNA story is out there. I think the New York Post has it. They've spoken to anonymous police sources, so we have to wait until the indictment is unsealed. But one of the other stories that is floating around there is that apparently somebody close to law enforcement has said that they looked at his cell phone data and they were able to synchronize his cell phone with the cell phones of the people who were murdered. It's called geofencing. And essentially, they were in the same spots all over town.
Yeah, that would be very important in a trial. But to see if that's enough evidence to make him the murderer. But what's going to be interesting, first of all, they got to make sure he doesn't commit suicide. So he'd be on suicide watch. And through his cell phone and other data to understand why he was tracking these three people.
I don't know. I think that headline's a little misleading, maybe, when it comes to that video. Thank you. I got that, Josie. I appreciate that. Let me go to that next. Thank you for that link. Christy B, that's why I think they have the wrong guy, possibly. Blood is slippery with bare hands, not with gloves. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. I appreciate you. I want to have faith that they have the right person, right? Just like Delphi. You know what I'm saying? Just like Delphi. When they came out and said, today is the day. It's like, whoa, dude. Okay. But then you see what they've released so far, and it's like, are you sure you should have said that? Not saying they were drink driving, but police lend to set up road stops here to check vehicles' registration and sobrieties. Ooh, that could be true too, Willow. I heard he was taken off suicide watch, right? Pings alone wouldn't necessarily be enough, right? Unless his phone was with him and they have a ping at the house that night. Exactly. Let me see here. Let me go to this link that Josie sent. Thank you so much again for that, Josie. Appreciate you. Extradition court date set for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. And subs and others. Cool. Yeah, we definitely don't want to do that. Nice. So tomorrow, I wonder why tomorrow? Why wouldn't it have been today? Is it? Well, I guess it's a holiday still, right? Yeah, because I'm off. So I guess, yeah, it's a holiday. So tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. though. Huh. See, I was thinking they would have had that shit right away in the morning, considering how they arrested him and already had him fucking in front of a judge right away in the morning Friday. I was assuming that they were going to try and speed this shit up and it be at 8 in the morning again, then maybe get him flown over to Idaho or whatever, and then maybe by Friday we would have had a court date in Idaho. Now, if it's tomorrow at 3:30, so I would assume either Friday or Monday is going to be the next court date to get the probable cause, maybe, right? Thank you for that, Josie. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Willow. The ping in the house is the phone, not him. You're fine. I don't think you're very far behind. No, I don't think so. And if you're a gamer on Twitch, definitely follow me on Twitch. If you play Fortnite or Warzone, I definitely play those. But again, CJ Evil Sims 4 episode 4 will be out. I'll be streaming it live on Twitch this afternoon, and then it'll be on my channel this afternoon or this evening on my YouTube. Busy morning after holiday. Yeah. Well, they might be on holiday. I wonder, are the banks closed today too? Watching the World Juniors Hockey quarterfinal games back to back to back to back. Oh, I bet that's fun, man. I bet they have a plane waiting on the tarmac. That's what I was thinking, right? Getting this shit done. But maybe they want to try and slow it down as much as possible so it's not as fucking quick. So they have more time to get their shit together. So maybe they, who knows? Maybe who says that they might even get him. Hell, maybe they might try and slow it down as much as they can since he's wanting to speed it up. Because maybe that's why they stopped the cleaning crew, because they're like, shit, he's trying to speed this up. We need to make sure we got all our fucking ducks in a row. If this guy's trying to speed this shit up, we need to make sure we got our ducks in a row first. All right, thank you for hanging out, Kid Kitty. Yeah, I'll be back 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, like I always am. It won't be that late of a show tonight, because it'll be my first day back to work tomorrow in the last, week and a half, almost 2 weeks. So, yeah, I won't be having too much. Plus, we got some tornadoes coming in at 10 p.m. tonight. Up through 5 in the morning, so I don't know. I probably should honestly shut it down at 10 no matter what, and make sure I get all these high-end electronic shit unplugged before all that, because man, I do need to go to Ryan Hall, y'all, today. and get an update on what these storms are looking like, because they looked pretty freaking nasty last night. I mean, huge clumps of red, not green and yellow, but fucking red. And so please watch your local weather today, for this evening, tomorrow, the next week. Watch your local weather. See what kind of nasty weather is going to be in your area, because I didn't even know about it until we watched the Ryan Hall y'all yesterday. I didn't know anything about it. So please check your local weather. Make sure you're safe for whatever weather's coming, because there's a lot of different shit going on in a lot of different parts of the country. I definitely think the parents knew. I'll wait to be proven. I like your attitude, Josie. It's the confidence, you know. Josie, I won't be surprised, honestly, if they did know, right? Have a great day, Kid Kitty. Seriously. I gotta work tonight, too. Why couldn't we have been born rich? You know what I mean, Silky? That's what I was telling everybody. I would love to be able to, like, wake up at 8 in the morning, be live at 9 in the morning, and have a podcast until 5 in the afternoon every day. Every day. That'd be so cool. But this is the sweetest part of it, right, though? Because if anything does become a possibility in the future, it's the process, right? It's the process that you appreciate. The grinds and the hard work. Yeah, thanks for that update, CJ. Seriously, please check your local weather. It's going to get nasty in a lot of different spots. I don't know what this video had, and it didn't really seem like it had what it talked about. I was kind of hoping for some information on this DNA stuff. All right, let me scroll through the breaking and see if we got anything else here. And then I'll go through some of these other videos. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. I might end up doing my Sims 4 on Twitch right after this show, honestly. On Twitch. And then I'll have it uploaded to YouTube later. So if you want to watch me, you want to watch CJ Evil episode 4, hop over on Twitch. I will be doing it. And I think I'm close to going to perform guitar in public. All right, I don't see nothing there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything breaking. Let's see. We heard that. Yeah, nothing breaking. All right, let me go to my videos real quick. We'll see what else we got here. Oh yeah, I did add those Josie, I did add those videos. There was 2 of them, and I'll let you tell me which one you're talking about, okay? From the Chronicles of Olivia. So I'll let you tell me which one you're talking about, and then we'll go with that one first, okay? I just gotta scroll down to it here. All right, so there we go. Let me go to chat here. Hey, Language of Horses, thank you for hopping in, and thank you for the new sub today. I appreciate it. Your conversation I recorded with Sirius in your car with no. Ooh, that too, Pam. Look at the first link I sent on Twitter. Oh, I thought you just sent one. Okay, 1 second here. Let me see here. Imagine two. There was more. Sorry, I'm just getting to the chat here real quick. I don't know that. Wonder if they pull that too for evidence to go through. Learn that from the Georgia case. I love the emoji too. I love the emojis. The one I sent on Twitter is the KTTT one about the pullovers in Indiana. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for hopping in and thank you for the new sub. Language of Horses. I love that name. Seriously. Okay, let me go back to Twitter. Go to the first link. Oh, there we go. I didn't even see that one. All right. Moscow murder suspect Brian Kohberger could be extradited to Idaho by Tuesday night. Watch the video. Let's see what it says. KTVB7.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage.
Whoa. Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984. Bath fitter. That's where Bath fitter originated from. Yes. We'll go to full screen. I bet that shit's expensive as hell nowadays. Shit.
Welcome to the Sunday News, and I'm Doug.
All right, there we go.
The
Thank
family
you.
of 28-year-old Brian
Josie.
Kohberger, a suspect in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow, released a statement earlier today on his arrest. The family expressed
love
their
the
condolences
emojis.
for the victims and said they'll
The
quote,
green
let
apple.
the legal process unfold,
Love it.
and as a family will love
I
and
know.
support our
Great
son
name.
and brother. They also said we have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence. Kohberger.
Isn't that an interesting statement by the family? Like, but you know, like everybody said, nice to meet you too. Thank you so much. It's so sweet of you to sub. I really appreciate it. Because I didn't like you just went to my channel and subbed this morning. I appreciate it for real. It was nice. About to call them and let them redo my damn show. Oh damn, for real, SRB? It's that bad? Is it leaky? Did it not get sealed up properly? Because I was gonna say something when we were watching that when we were watching that commercial, but I'm like, I don't know. But when they were the way that the guy was like laying it into the on the other bathtub, I'm sitting there going, damn, I wonder if the seal stays. I'm terrified because I love you guys. All right, we'll get back to this. Yeah, this is just interesting that they said
is a
that.
graduate student at Washington State University in Pullman and works as a teacher's assistant in criminology. This is his mugshot. In an interview with NBC, the public defender representing Kohberger in the extradition proceedings says Kohberger will waive the extradition hearing and could be back in Idaho Tuesday night or early Wednesday. We'll have more from that attorney coming up in just a little bit. Kohberger is accused of the murders of Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. They were found stabbed to death in a house just off the University of Idaho campus on November 13th. News Channel 7's Abby Davis joins us now. Abby, Moscow police aren't releasing any details about what specifically led them to arrest Kohberger, and they're also staying tight-lipped about a possible motive at this time.
All right, and I'm going to use this, respect the creator pause to go to chat here real quick. Carrot, horses, and music. I love it. Let's see here. What styles do you like to play? You mean guitar? What kind of music? SRB on Sims? SRB language. Yes, nice to meet you. Older house, and yes, it's being oh shit. Keeps leaking around the edges. Hub's sick of fixing the grout and caulking. Yeah. That sucks. I can imagine though, like I just watched that guy put that cover over that tub, and I'm just like, oh gosh, I wonder how good the ceiling stays. It's one thing if it's like the whole freaking piece and it's it's made as one piece, but it's another thing when you're taking this piece and fitting it to another and fitting it to another, and yeah, I can imagine. And thank you everybody for hopping in here. Josie, you're on this today, little guy, keeping me busy. No time to look crap. Hey, thank you for being in here and hanging out, the SRB. I appreciate it.
Doug, because police arrested
Everybody.
Koberger in Pennsylvania, the Latah County prosecutor says we won't get any of those details until Koberger is back in Idaho and a judge unseals the probable cause affidavit. Until then, we're left wondering why the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The answer as to who killed 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow may lie
Thank
across
you
the
again,
state
Josie,
line,
for the
less
link.
than 10 miles away in Pullman, Washington. 28-year-old Brian Koberger, a criminology student at Washington State University, has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary.
I am certain this is our guy.
Moscow Police Chief James Fry said during an NBC interview Saturday morning they can't share any details about a possible motive, why they focused on Koberger, and how they tracked him to Pennsylvania, where police arrested him on Friday morning.
You know, we're sealed by what we can share right now, and that's a state law. And once we can give that information, we will.
Koberger's public defender, Jason Labar, says his client intends to waive his extradition hearing set for Tuesday, which means that information might come sooner than expected. Once Koberger is back in Idaho, a judge can unseal the probable cause affidavit.
Some of that will be just how fast can we, get the proper authorities to transport him here.
Labar told NBC on Sunday Koberger could be back in Idaho as soon as Tuesday night or early Wednesday. He says Koberger is well aware of the various stories about him circulating online.
I am giving him updates. I spoke to him this morning for an hour, last night for 20 minutes, really updating on some of the allegations that are coming out, but mainly allegations that have nothing to do with the facts and evidence in the case, but really the cross-country trip. Just to clarify those type of facts as to why he ended up in Pennsylvania and whether or not he was in Pullman at the time of the homicides.
Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger told KTVB on Saturday it has been a taxing month and a half.
This has been a horrible tragedy for our community, for the University of Idaho, and absolutely for the families of these loved ones. And knowing that they were finally in custody was a celebration of sorts, but then also it's still sombering. You know that no matter what we do, having him in custody does not bring these 4 people back.
Just because Koberger is in custody doesn't mean Moscow PD's work is done.
We are still investigating. We're still looking into every aspect, but we believe Koberger is our suspect. We believe we have our man.
We got one more phase to go, and then the victory will be won.
Fry says they're looking for any information about Koberger so that they can paint the entire picture and figure out exactly who he is. Moscow PD is asking people with information to call its tip line. And again, the facts of this case will remain sealed until Koberger appears in Idaho court.
Abby, thank you for the update on where the case stands. And now we want to show you more of the interview with the public defender.
Oh, wow,
Who is
cool.
handling Koberger's
Thank you for
extradition
this,
proceedings
Josie.
in Pennsylvania. He is not defending Koberger in the actual murder case.
Right.
You can watch the full story on the interview tomorrow morning on the Today Show. Attorney Jason.
Tomorrow morning on the Today Show, and this must be a video from today. Thank you, Josie. Scroll down on the webpage about him being pulled over 2 times. 1 second. Let me finish this here.
Jason Labar told NBC that Koberger's dad flew out to Idaho and drove back to Pennsylvania with him. He added that this was a planned cross-country trip for the Christmas holiday. In this clip, Labar talks about his recent conversation.
Willow, if you're talking in real life, I like I play a lot of Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, Green Day, Soundgarden. I play a lot of that music. I know that's a lot of the music that I learned 15, 20 years ago probably. So that's my favorite to play, that kind of music. And we had it in a house, spent 7 months. Oh, the mold. Yeah. Got 4 flute. Oh my gosh, Pam, that's crazy. You play the drums? Wow, nice. Man, that is so cool. That would be so cool to have. Man, that's the one thing I miss jamming with is a drummer. Seriously. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Pam. Yeah, that's one thing I miss jamming with is a drummer. Double bass. Oh my gosh, you rock. You freaking rock. I miss jamming with a drummer. Seriously. Like, all you need's a drummer, you know, and you got them tingles going through your body when you're playing, you know. When you're playing together, you get them tingles. You know what I'm talking about, them tingles. Oh, it's just that the live music, you know, and feeling the vibration going through your body as you're playing the music, and then it's that I don't know how to explain it. Oh no, mold is, geez, yeah, that's one of the things that is the worst.
Conversations with Brian Coburger.
The worst.
So I know you met with Brian today. What's his mood like? Has anything changed?
Not really. He still has a very calm demeanor, asking questions about the hearing, seeing how his family is, making sure they're getting through this as best they can. He obviously has concerns for them, and really he's a little ashamed that they have to go through this process.
What's he ashamed of?
I think just putting his family through this, whether it's right or wrong or how it plays out.
Is he revealing anything about a connection to any of the victims?
No, again, I have not questioned him about the facts and evidence. Not being privy to any of that information, I don't really want to elicit any of that information. So he's not offering it because I'm not asking it.
Okay, I see. Well, I'm kind of curious, and I know you may not, I don't know if you can answer this, but there have been reports or questions about whether or not he was following at least one of those victims. Have you seen that, or what do you think about that?
Again, I take it with a grain of salt reading what I do online, and I'd really wait until the affidavit of probable cause is released to mention anything. I don't want to make any type of assumptions. I don't want to guess. I wouldn't comment on it until I've had the opportunity to read the affidavit of probable cause and look at the evidence.
Okay. Do you have a gut feeling about whether or not he did this?
I do not. Really, my interactions with him are solely based on the extradition proceedings, and I wouldn't want to judge someone's character based solely on that.
Right.
Again, the Today Show will have more of this interview and story tomorrow morning starting at 7 o'clock right here.
All right, that's cool. Well, we'll have that in the show tomorrow night, so that'll be nice. Let me see where they got pulled over twice. No install required. Where'd it go? Read more. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, I'll just start from the top here. Let me go to chat real quick. That's sad, Pam, about blood treatments. That's crazy. And that's my fear. I swear it's the reason. Aww. That's so sad, SRB. Met my husband 14 years ago and he liked my drumming to pin. Oh my gosh. Josie. God damn. I can't imagine having a fucking drummer here right now. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be doing a fucking podcast. That's for damn sure. I'd be doing fucking concerts on YouTube instead. Hell yeah, Willow. Yeah. Well, he also has sinus. Well, yeah, mold definitely doesn't help. That's for sure. Mold causes a lot of issues. Seriously. Fingers crossed. This says Labar said his client still plans on waiving his extradition rights at the trial set for Tuesday, and that Kohberger believes he will be exonerated. Given the conversation I had with him and his statement of being exonerated, I would anticipate an entry of not guilty, Labar said. The Moscow Police Department has not released details about why police arrested Kohberger on Friday morning in Pennsylvania. In an interview with NBC, Labar gave information about how his client came to be in Pennsylvania, but said his interactions with Kohberger are solely based on extradition proceedings because he can't possibly practice PA in Idaho law. Maybe similar states, but not that far. So that's pretty obvious. According to Labar, Kohberger's dad had flown into Seattle to Spokane and then drove into Pullman to get his son and drive back. Wow, so he flew to Washington, drove across the whole Washington state to get his son and drive back to Pennsylvania during the holiday. It was a planned trip, and Labar said Kohberger's father told him that nothing was out of the ordinary during the cross-country drive. Labar did state the father and son duo were pulled over twice in Indiana during the trip to Pennsylvania. He also said he was not sure who had been driving. I don't know whether they were speeding or not, or if they were even issued a ticket, Labar said. I just know that they were pulled over in Indiana almost back to back. I believe once for speeding and once for falling too closely to a car in front of them. Labar has also been careful about the information he elicits from Kohberger because he is not his defense lawyer for the charges that have been brought against him. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to know shit. Labar did tell NBC he informed his client of the various stories and allegations circulating online. Interesting. I gave him updates. I spoke to Kohberger this morning for an hour last night for 20... Okay. I spoke to Kohberger this morning for an hour, last night for 20 minutes, really updating him on some of the allegations that are coming out, but mainly allegations that have nothing to do with the facts and evidence in the case, but really the cross-country trip, Labar said. You know, just to clarify those types of facts as to why he ended up in Pennsylvania and whether or not he was in Pullman at the time of the acts of the homicides. That's an interesting statement right there. Labar said, you know, just to clarify those types of facts as to why he ended up in Pennsylvania and whether or not he was in Pullman at the time of the acts of the homicides. We are going to Denmark this year to see Iron Maiden. I can't... Denmark, huh? Wow. Take that seriously, ass. Yes. Overrated, beyond understand. Going to see Bruce Springsteen. Yes, lived for many years. I've been thinking about having some... He's... Aw. Old school Steve Harris. Welcome everybody for being in here. Figured it was just, Bruce sticking. Yeah, that's an interesting statement there. NBC asked Labar several questions about Kohberger, such as if he had been bullying people, if he used heroin, and if he was suicidal. Labar said he could not speak to the bullying, but that in his opinion, Kohberger did not seem to be a heroin user, and there were no obvious signs of drug use or thoughts of suicide. Again, he is mentally aware. He's aware of the situation, and I think he's certainly mentally stable and had made no expressions of hurting. So I wonder if it ever does come to a point where there's some type of insanity, I wonder if they're gonna bring that up in the trial right there. He's basically saying he's aware of everything and mentally stable. Labar told, but he's not a doctor. But then again, maybe he's dealt with a lot of individuals that have been, and he can experience. Labar told NBC he cannot make any assumptions about Koberger's case in Idaho, and that all 4 members of his client's family, 2 sisters, and his mother and father will be at the courthouse on Tuesday. Back in Idaho, Moscow Police Chief James Fry told NBC in an interview on Saturday morning that they can't share any details about a possible motive, but they will share information with the public when they can. Fry also said that it had been a taxing month and a half. I am certain this is our guy, Fry said. We've got one more phase to go, and then victory will be won. So he's basically talking a trial or a confession. But Fry says, I am certain this is our guy. Once Koberger is back in Idaho, was there any press releases by the FBI? I don't remember any press releases by the FBI, and they did a lot, right? Oh, it'll back. Okay. Thank you, Josie. That's a good point. I'm wondering. Once Koberger is back in Idaho, a judge can unseal the probable cause affidavit and more information will be available. I can't wait because I know we all would like to read that for sure. And we will be having, I'm saying we will have a show on it. Shit, we have a show every night at 7, 8 o'clock Eastern. So, however, just because Koberger's in custody doesn't mean that the Moscow Police Department work is done. I've had a week and a half off and a lot of different shows on a lot of different times. I got to get back into the work mode now. Starting tomorrow, Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger said that they are still investigating and looking into every aspect, but do believe that Koberger is the correct suspect. This has been a horrible tragedy for our community, the University of Idaho, and absolutely for the families of these loved ones, Dollinger said, and knowing that they were finally in custody was a celebration of sorts, but also it's still sombering. You know, no matter what we do, having him in custody does not bring these 4 people back. So true. Thank you for those links, Josie. Seriously. And all the music chat in the chat, I love it. Drums kick ass. Imagine if and you know what I'm saying? Like representing himself like Bundy, you know? Representing himself like Bundy. I hope your little I hope your little one gets well too, SRB. That's fingers crossed about mold. That's always, it's the shit you can't see, right? Yeah, thank you for those links, Josie, and I appreciate you. Appreciate your information, your views, and everything. I appreciate everybody's. Thank you, everybody. So I think I'm just going to get into the vegan serial killers tonight. So I got 4 right now. So if anybody can think of any vegan serial killers that ended up committing acts of cannibalism, if you want to send me any of the names to Twitter, to my email, EvilleCJ@gmail.com. Look me up on Twitter. Or you can even send them to Facebook. Definitely hit me up with some names. And then we're going to go through those tonight and kind of do some Wikipedia dives on some of these things. And just kind of read about some of them. I have a feeling if we look up some vegan serial killers that ended up committing acts of cannibalism, I have a feeling something's going to stick out to me on one of them. I don't know. I just got this feeling. But yeah, definitely hit me up on Gmail or Twitter if you can think of any for tonight's show, and we'll go into them. Especially if you have any other links that you want to share for tonight, any breaking, whatever, send it to me, please. I'll definitely get to them in the show. And yes, thank you. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. That mold. I dealt with mold in a house like 15 years ago, and that shit is a nightmare. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. Batismo, you are fantastic. I know, isn't it cool? I finally figured out how to set it all up. And you know what? Dang, I was gonna do that today too. I might do that because I have my light stream set up for my Twitch gaming. I might transfer it over. I don't know. I'd have to create some new screens and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till the weekend. It is a lot of work to do that. I definitely need to do my CJ Evil episode 4 on Twitch. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, there's the link to my Twitch. We also play Jackbox Trivia Murder Party. And so if you go to my Twitch, make sure you go to my past videos and look up the video that's titled Jackboxing with CJ. You can see some of us from the podcast got off the show and we went and played Jackbox Party Pack. I stream the game show and you participate on a mobile device or a computer, and you're actually a participant in the game show. So it's really fun. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. And I'll be back at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, everybody. And thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for hanging out. I can't wait. Thank you. I appreciate that, SRB. I really appreciate that. Yeah, rock on, Phantom. All this music talk. I feel like I need to jam on my guitar for a little bit too, but no. I need to put this shit away, set up. I need to do my Sims 4 episode 4, and then we'll see what happens. Yes, Josie, thank you for all your info, for real. Happy New Year, everybody, again. And thank you, SRB. Yeah, please hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Pam. And thank you for all the new subs. And thank you, Language of Horses. I appreciate the sub. All right, I'll see you guys later tonight. And if you're on Twitch, I'll see you in a little bit.